I need a cloak with a hood and a mask.
Okay, I think we'll find something for you.
I suppose you'd like the password.
If you'd like, sir.
Fidelio.
Thank you, sir.
I don't think you realize the danger you're in now.
You've been way out of your depth.
You've got to get away before it's too late.
Hey everybody, I'm Tatsudoshi.
I'm Gordon Bourbon.
And this has been a day of Stanley Kubrick for us. I know it's been like 4 days for you guys, but we did all of this in one day. It was like 9 hours of Stanley Kubrick with bathroom breaks in between and reviews in between. So basically we watched the movie, we did the review, we watched the next one, we did the review. It was like some sort of snack in there somewhere. And dinner at some point. It was a real blur.
I don't know what time it is.
I don't know either. What time is it?
Midnight.
It is midnight. It is officially midnight.
It's like we did a 24-hour stream.
Yeah,
but movie.
But the thing is we started watching shit around noon, and it is midnight. That should give you a good estimate of how much time it actually took to do this shit and watch this stuff. So, this is the fourth Stanley Kubrick film we had to watch, and the final one, and as requested by Doc Sigma. And this one is Eyes Wide Shut. And I've never seen this movie before.
And now
I will never want to see this fucking movie again. I have seen a lot of Stanley Kubrick movies, but this one was bad.
Every director has a shitty movie, but ooh boy.
Woo! The thing is I know we could go back and look at the recordings we did of the other ones, and we're like, yeah, it was cool, it was fun, it was some weird shit and stuff, but at least we had a good time.
It didn't really feel like it was him directing it.
No, it felt like somebody else was like doing it.
Shitty ass director crap.
To be honest, he could have gone insane. Because this is the last movie he made and then he died.
You know, like I said before, it's just Tom Cruise.
And alright. First battle scars of this movie. I didn't even know it until... Because I really didn't pay attention to this movie because it's like... The plot of it... The written plot of it, I read it, it's like, it doesn't really interest me. So I didn't watch it. But I found out when I looked at it, when we were about to watch it, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. I will say this one more time. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, playing opposite each other in a relationship. Why?
Already bad.
Okay.
That's just bad in itself.
Second part. This movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It felt... time stopped at some point during this movie, but the movie kept going.
Yeah.
Not particularly... Oh,
bad.
God.
I have never watched... I don't know when's the last time I watched a movie that dragged out something so... And it felt like at some points, I don't know with my brain, but it felt like everything was in fucking slow motion. Like the characters, some just things like... So, did you know what happened? No. Tom Cruise. Did I know what happened?
Seriously, motherfucker, you guys got this question that just... Okay.
Yes. Did you know what happened?
Please.
And that's seriously, like, that's how fucking the pace of the movie was. I'm just going here, and then,
Okay, let's touch on some of the really... let's touch on some typical Kubrick shit. Lots of naked ladies in this movie.
Yes, that's the one thing. That didn't even save it. There was titties everywhere and fucking... Just not like... You know, bed sheet cover fucking. I mean, like, fucking, like, there's, at one scene, I believe, there was a female and a guy just fucking, just going to town on this bitch on top of another dude's back.
Gotta be over here now.
One of them, one of them, damn it. One of them looked like the Green Goblin.
Oh, yeah. Best part. I pointed out the Green Goblin. It's like, hey, that looks like the Green Goblin. And then I pulled this out of my ass. Godspeed, Spider-Man, and then he just. I think that was the breaking point where we went from maybe we're kind of cracking jokes to keep ourselves sane in this movie to we're not sane anymore. We're fucking delirious, and it's just Okay, so let's touch on the typical Kubrick stuff. Lots of sex, lots of boobs and vajujus and shit.
And the movie tries to keep you up.
A lot of peculiar characters, a lot of interesting designs, and he really does kind of give New York a weird feel to it, that Kubrick feel to it. But let's talk about the things that we hated. I'm going to talk about the thing that we hated the most. Dun, 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 dun,
Whoever was like the music score for this fucking movie needs to get shot by a cat.
Dun, 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 dun.
Not even an exaggeration. It sounded like... And that just goes... Yeah. I'm gonna hit you.
We likened it to throwing a cat on a piano and the cat trying to run across the piano.
And he's not like trying to do a bad impersonation of how to sound. That's how it fucking sounded like. Alright? If you don't believe me, go see the movie yourself and then shoot yourself. Because that's what you're gonna do after you hear it. It just literally sounded like someone was just like, "Hey, look what I can," and then there's the piano. Look, I made.
You know what? I know why Gomer Pyle shot himself in a Full Metal Jacket. He saw Eyes Wide Shut.
God. But there's and most of the stand-up film things, there was like interesting music and shit, nice little sets of choices.
They had each of the first three movies had interesting characters, interesting music, appropriate music, and some interesting designs in the quirkiness of it. And that was all three of the first ones. This one had Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman as Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. The score was dun, 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 dun. I'm speeding it up because I can't take it anymore.
It's just the sound of a fucking cat throwing a cat on the piano and just letting it make a melody.
This was where Stanley's other films have been slightly disjointed but come together at a point.
It's Tom Cruise. He has money and he's bored. Alright? So he tries to do stuff with his money and he can't figure out what the fuck to do and he can't get laid, so he's Tom Cruise Nether Tribes.
Seriously, this isn't even a joke. We kind of figured it out about halfway through that this wasn't Tom Cruise playing a character trying to, get back at his wife for sleeping with another man. This is Tom Cruise on a weekend not knowing what the fuck to do because he's just like, I'm rich and I'm bored. So he ends up going to a bunch of different places, and women are hitting on him left and right.
Seriously, he's getting like vajuju, just throwing him left and right. He's not even doing anything. So
he's
like,
saying no.
Hey, can I sleep with you, Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise is like, no, get away from me.
No, get away from me. You don't have a dick.
But like,
Seriously.
when the actual guy characters, that's when he's like smiling, having a good time, drinking fucking shots or whatnot. Really, you're going where? Hey, Tom Cruise. Oh, what are you? Get away. So anyway, where were you going?
Dude, there's this scene where he's talking to his friend from medical school who dropped out. And they're having a conversation. He gets a phone call, and he gets this little message, and he helps him write it down and everything. And Tom Cruise is like, what's this? And he's like, oh, that's the name of some fucking Beethoven play thing, and the guys and Tom Cruise is like, well, what is it? It's the password. Password to what? I can't tell you that. Why don't you just tell me your address? I already got the password. We'll show up separately. He's like, because seriously, you're not going there without me, because I'm your boyfriend, and I mean your friend who happens to be a boy. Want to go to my hotel?
It was bad. It's just there's this pointless pacing. It's just like, hey, I'm at this party, and then we had a pot fight, and then
a pot fight. No. It's not throwing pots.
It's just smoking pot and then trying to have a fight while smoking pot.
It's Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise faking smoking pot, faking getting high, then faking an argument.
There's a point where they're just trying to see who's better at being bad
at acting.
and acting. And I think Nicole won sometimes, but
No,
because she wasn't on screen enough.
No, the thing is Nicole won because of that. In that particular scene, the reason she wanted the who's worse at acting thing is because even Tom Cruise's face was like, is this bitch serious?
Right, because she's trying to act like she's high and shit, and this
now you got the giggle fence
uncontrollably, and it's just, but yeah, that's basically the plot. You know, they go to the party. Nicole's getting hit on by a fucking like
Hungarian
French
fucking
George Clooney or something with ginormous nose and eyebrows,
who can't act his way out of a paper.
And seriously, he's like concentrating on Nicole's character so much. I think he was fucking her as he was dancing. And it was
the thing is the entire shot is shot from the waist up. So we're sitting there. It's like, what did you say? It's like he's like fucking her with his eyes. I was like, dude, no, he's not fucking with her eyes. We can only see it from the waist up. He's fucking her right now, and you can't even see it. It's just happening. That's what's happening.
And I know you're like, I wish we could tell you more about the movie, but there is really not that much more in the movie.
Tom Cruise bored on a weekend.
Right.
That's what this movie is.
Okay, yes, because after the pot fight and shit, and Nicole reveals that, it's like, how come you never get jealous of me? Because I think you're faithful. Well, guess what? I'm not faithful. I'm actually a whore. Really? Yeah. Oh.
I guess we should do something.
So he just keeps on getting, like, images. And images and images.
That was Nicole Kidman's entire role in this movie was flashbacks of her fucking a sailor.
Yeah, that was the biggest part of her role. It was her basically on her back having sex most of the time. And like half the room of the movie, she was just naked. So I don't know,
which was a disappointment.
Well, she has an okay body, but
she's like a 12-year-old boy, dude.
But as soon as I was like, it's like okay, Nicole Kidman naked, woo. But
12-year-old boy.
And then Tom's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something crazy.
I'm gonna get a hooker.
And he does, he
gets a hooker, kisses her, gives her $150. He goes and hooks up with his guy friend. And then he goes and rents a costume. And when he goes to rent the costume, the store owner finds his daughter fucking two old Asian men. And the daughter comes out and she looks like she's 16. And she goes up to Tom Cruise and like, hey, wanna fuck me? Yeah. And then she just goes kind of like, ah, and then just disappears. And he says no. And then he goes into this fuck party and he watches.
Yeah, that's the point. It was like, okay, he's not getting lucky. He's getting the opportunities left and right. He's not getting anything. Until he goes to the party thing, which is supposed to be the fucked up part of this movie. When he goes to this ginormous castle, mansion, whatever not, and he gets in, he buys this funky mask with a cape and everything, and everybody else is wearing fucked up masks in there. And at first I was just like, what the hell's going on? Because everybody's in fucking cloaks and there's just like
this
I'm like, okay, this cult shit's and then by the time I'm like, this is starting to get boring. Like half the people take off their cloaks and there's just a whole bunch of women naked. I'm like, okay. And then when you find out it's just a big giant sex party, or because like afterwards he's just going through room, people just not dry humping, just fucking left and right, including
the Green Goblin, who's there and just screaming, Godspeed, Spider-Man, Godspeed, Spider-Man,
and there's this chick that's trying to warn him. He's like, get the fuck out of here, what are you doing here? Tom Cruise was like, I'm bored, I don't know, I'm having a fun time. And then so they catch him, and it's like, take off your mask, Tom Cruise, we know it's you. You can smell your faggotry from here.
We can tell you're bad acting even behind that mask. Right. In fact, the mask is just your face.
And you're thinking that's what it's trying to build up to. Okay, this mystery of what's this sexual cult place or whatever. Who are these people? But guess what? It doesn't fucking go anywhere. The guy just goes, you know how much trouble you're in? I said, you're not in trouble at all, but you could have been.
You could have been if... Yeah, we're lazy. We're fat, old, lazy, and we just...
And they tried to make it suspenseful with this stupid piano cat doing dark, ominous tones in the background, and you feel like he's getting followed, but nothing fucking happens. There's no suspense. I could have more suspense than me taking a shit right in the middle of the street.
Well, that would be pretty suspenseful.
but I don't know, it was bad. I can't say anymore. It was a movie that started going nowhere and ended going nowhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna say one thing, and this kind of was like the penultimate scene in the movie for me, as far as stupidity is concerned. Tom Cruise, after his night of debauchery,
Night of failure.
comes back, and Nicole Kidman is in their bed, giggling like an idiot. All right, she's like,
and she's having like she's sleeping and she's giggling.
she's asleep and giggling. So he goes up and he goes, "Hey, it's all right." It's like, dude, she was fucking laughing. She's fine. It's all right. It's all right.
And
then she wakes up. She's like,
yeah, and she's still like, hey, until she wakes up and she's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be scared.
And then she explains this entire dream about her and Tom Cruise being in New York, surrounded by all the buildings and the entire town. I'm going to tell this entire thing too, because they need to know this. You need to know this.
You need to know the. And she's like, I had the most terrifying dream.
All right, first opening line she says, most terrifying dream. Keep this in mind. So, most terrifying dream. Her and Tom Cruise are naked, stark naked, in New York City, and the streets and everybody in New York City is gone. And she's feeling all like self-conscious and everything, and she's all scared and shit. And Tom Cruise goes, okay, I'll go find your clothes and my clothes. Be right back. And then she says, after you left, I felt great.
Right.
Which, you know what, to be honest, anytime Tom Cruise gets fucked up in a movie, I feel great. Right. But then she ends up in this field, in this beautiful field, and then
naked.
Still naked. And then the guy who she fucked,
French George Clooney.
No, the guy she fucked.
Oh, was
the sailor, the fucking sailor, who she fucked a long time ago and didn't let Tom Cruise know, showed up, and he's like, hey baby, and she's like, oh hey sailor, and then they kind of have their like kissing thing, and then they have sex, and then all around her more people appear, and they're all having sex. And then she starts having sex with all sorts of different guys. I don't know how many guys I was fucking. That's literally a line in this movie.
And she's like, I'm so scared. There was fucking people. I didn't know how many people I was fucking.
And then like they're talking about, and then like Tom Cruise comes back or something, and then the sailor guy starts laughing at him, and then all the other people start laughing at him, and then Nicole Kidman start laughing at him, and then that's when she woke up. Most terrifying dream.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Wow, that was a lot of money.
What?
Yeah, that was...
What?
It was pointless. I was just like... Okay, that just shows me...
This is stupid.
Yeah, that only shows me that you're a whore in real life, and you're even a bigger whore in your fantasy or in your dreams. You're like a super villain whore that goes around, this drains and fucks the rest of the humankind.
But once again, even Tom Cruise and his infinite bad acting just can't compute Nicole Kidman's horrible acting in this.
Right.
Especially in that scene. And I think Tom Cruise is like, should we do this again? Because I didn't understand. Okay, you know what? First and foremost, I don't think anybody in this movie understood what the fuck was going on. I think Stanley Kubrick was just fucking with all of them. It's like, I don't like any of you, so we're going to make you in a really bad movie and waste all of your time, and it's going to be shitty. And really what it is I think there's two options. There's the one that I just said where Stanley Kubrick's like, I hate all of you people, and I'm going to put you in a shitty movie, and then I'm going to laugh at you being in the shitty movie. Or two, this was a 2.5 hour, or it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long of Stanley Kubrick saying, Tom Cruise is gay, Tom Cruise is gay, Tom Cruise is gay. Gay, gay, gay. Rainbow's gay. He even goes to a fucking place called the Rainbow to buy a fucking costume. Tom Cruise is fucking gay, according to Stanley Kubrick, and I'm likely to believe him after seeing this movie where there is literally women throwing themselves at him, and he just goes, where's the dudes? Tom Cruise is gay.
Right. it.
That's
He
what it-
gets a peck. He doesn't even feel a fucking tit. All right. He gets a. That's it. That's all he gets. Michael Jackson had more fucking action than this guy.
More action with women.
With women than fucking.
So, if you want to see Eyes Wide Shut, what you could do is just take a bullet and eat it. I don't mean shoot yourself. I mean take a bullet and eat it. It'll give you the same nasty, fucking hard and just disgusted feeling after you're done, and then you have to shit that out. That's this movie.
Or this try to have get the bullet and slowly jam into your forehead. Because that's how long it's going to take.
It's going to take 2 hours and 40 minutes.
By the time you get the bullet in your head, the movie might be over.
Maybe. Or you'll be brain dead or something, hopefully.
Either way, something would be over.
So, long story short, Stanley Kubrick good. Eyes Wide Shut bad.
Yeah, really bad. Don't watch it unless you want to be mean to someone.
Unless, you know what? Invite your friends over, start the movie, and then run away. It'll be there.
I'm gonna go get.
I'll go get the pizza. I'll be back in a little bit. Just enjoy the movie. I've seen this part a million times. And then don't come back until the movie's over. Go see a better movie, and then come back. And then they'll all be like, "What the fuck did you make us watch? I don't understand."
You'll come back. You'll see all your friends in a fetal position. Probably one of them committed suicide. So.
And then they'll all say, "It's like, where's the pizza, dude? I ate the pizza fucking an hour and a half ago. My movie was over. I actually watched 2 movies that were good in the time that you just watched this one. So, oh my god, that's
it. That's the end.
That's the end of Kubrick for us.
Do you think that's funny?
You probably shouldn't laugh anymore.